Okay, try this one. We've got 7x plus 8 over 3x plus 2 minus, and then here we have x plus 4 over 3x plus 2. Now this minus here, this minus is for everything, not just the first term. So once we get a common denominator, which we do have, what we can do is apply the property of subtraction. Change the minus sign to a plus and change the signs of each of the terms. So once we have a common denominator, apply what some textbooks call the property of subtraction. Okay, change the minus sign to a plus, change the sign of all the terms. Okay, so from there, go ahead and combine it into one numerator and simplify from there. All right, go ahead and do that. Okay, so what do we end up with in the numerator?
6x plus 4.
Right. 7x minus 1x is 6x. 8 minus 4 is 6x plus 4 over 3x plus 2. Okay, now let's see. Can we simplify here? Okay, so step 3, add or subtract the numerator step 4, simplify if we can by factor and cancel like terms, or like factors, I'll put. Can we factor anything here? And you can see, you might be able to factor both the numerator and the denominator. Well, let's look at the numerator. Do we have a common factor here? Sydney?
2.
Yeah, 2. And so that would give us 3x plus 2. And so we got 2 over 3x plus 2 over 3x plus 2. And so we can look at this 3x plus 2 in the denominator as having parentheses in it. So we can cancel that, right? The 3x plus 2's can cancel. And so what's left over? to simplify that. All right? Okay. Let's try this one. We've got 4 over P minus Q minus 2 over Q minus P. Well, are P minus Q and Q minus P, are they the same? Just like 2 minus 3 and 3 minus 2, are they the same? They're not, right? So we can't assume that Q minus P is the same as P minus Q. So what we can do here is, remember when, if we had a -1 and we had Q minus P, and we just, let's use something else. X plus or minus Y, and we distribute it at -1, we got negative X plus Y, remember that? So we factored a -1 out, we changed the signs just like when we distributed -1 in, we changed the signs. So we can change the signs here by factoring a -1 out, -1, and so that makes that Q from a positive to a negative. That makes the P from a negative to a what? Positive, right? Well, let's check it. -1 times P, that's going to be negative P. -1 times negative Q, that almost looks like an E there. Change that. -1 times Q, that's going to be plus Q. Okay? So now they're the same. Alright? So, this is what we've got. We've got, now you see how we have a -1 here and a negative here? 4 over P minus Q minus 2 over -1 times P minus Q. Well, what happens when we got negative over a negative? Harley? Comes positive, right. Comes a positive. Negative divided by a negative becomes a positive. Here we factor out a -1 to get a common factor. Another way you could do it is you could multiply -1 over -1 here, and that's another way you could do it. So we'll try it both ways to see which way you guys like it better. Okay, so we have our P minus Q is the common denominator, and we have 4 plus 2 that we're adding. So we end up with 6 over P minus Q. And that's our answer.
So when you factor out the -1, you flip the Q and the P inside the parentheses?
Yeah, because when you factor negative out, you change the signs. Just like when you distribute a -1 in, you change the signs.
But in the parentheses, you put P minus Q, and it started out in Q minus P. Does that matter?
Well, yeah, because see, it started off as q minus p, right?
Alright.
So when we factor the negative out, the q becomes a negative. No, oh, you mean it, instead of being a negative q plus p?
Yeah.
No. I mean, as long as the signs are right, that doesn't matter. But whether it's negative q plus p or p minus q, that really doesn't matter. I just did that because, you know, they look the same when you do it that way. Okay? Any other questions?